There are lots of things we use every day. Pencil sharpeners, zippers, air conditioners, automobiles. Well, somebody had to come up with the idea for those things and then make them. Those people are inventors, and throughout history, many of them have been African Americans. Malcolm Johnson is an inventor who works for Kimberly-Clark in Roswell, Georgia. That's the company that makes Kleenex.
Well, I actually knew I wanted to be an inventor when I was in the 3rd grade because I told my mother, well, I was very curious about how things worked. And I told my mother when I grew up I was going to be an engineer.
Malcolm spends a lot of time in the laboratory developing new consumer products. He's testing a new line of disposable wipes used for killing insects and for cleaning. He's testing the wipes to see how well they hold the cleaning fluid.
One of the things that's exciting about being a scientist, you get a chance to try things and experiment, and it's okay. You have to have fun at what you're doing. You have to enjoy what you're doing. And you have to be committed to doing it. I mean, because sometimes the answers are not easily gotten. You have to keep digging and digging and digging and be disciplined to stick with it, because the real test is to see if it works. Dirt. Therefore, we must have a clean window.
Malcolm has 9 patents in his name. A patent is a document that the United States government gives you when you prove that you have an original invention or an improvement on someone else's invention. One of his patents is for a disposable coverall that can be used by people who clean up hazardous waste.
He said, well, you immortalize yourself when you become an inventor because a patent is granted to you in your name and is always on the records in the Department of Commerce in Washington, D.C.
Malcolm Johnson is part of a long tradition of African American inventors. Each one has helped make life a little easier, safer, or more efficient. One of them is Garrett Morgan. His inventions are featured in a film made by the U.S. Patent Office about black inventors.
Garrett Morgan is not a household word, but his patent affects our lives from one day to the next. Garrett Morgan, an inventor from Cleveland, Ohio, designed and patented the traffic signal to control the flow of traffic. His invention provided a mechanically controlled apparatus to raise and lower signals to indicate a stop or go at regulated intervals. Electric lamps illuminated the words giving the signal. Garrett Morgan is also noted for his gas inhalator, or gas mask. Various kinds of noxious gases were used during World War I. Garrett Morgan's gas mask, as well as other versions, were used while troops fought in the trenches.
The patent system was enacted by Congress in 1790.
Chris Mitchell presents the story of black inventors to students throughout Georgia. She brings the past to life with copies of actual patents and pictures of inventors. And her turn-of-the-century costume takes us back in time.
Now, I would like to talk about another important black inventor named Latimer. And this is one of his patents. It was actually called at that time a carbon filament. It's the part of the light inside the light bulb that actually makes it light up. Okay, and this is his version of the carbon filament in 1881.
I noticed that the first light bulb was made out of tungsten. Did the carbon filament work better than the original tungsten filament?
That was the point of trying to make it better, to last longer, so the light bulb would light up longer and to be less expensive to make. And later, he was hired by Thomas Edison to be a part of his organization, and he was the only black that worked for Thomas Edison.
Frederick McKinley Jones had more than 60 patents in his name. One of his inventions helped movies talk. Motion pictures were silent until sound was invented in the late 1920s. Frederick McKinley Jones found a way to adapt silent projectors so that they could show talking movies.
I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
Today, we take fresh fruits and vegetables for granted, even though they come from the West Coast, 3,000 miles away. Well, you can thank Frederick McKinley Jones. He invented a refrigeration system for trucks that keeps food from spoiling when it's shipped long distances. And the company he formed, Thermo King, is still in business today.
But to be a scientist, you have to have a large curiosity about stuff, an insatiable appetite for understanding what is, why, where, how much, and stuff like that. And that drives you to become focused and disciplined. You can do anything you want to do. I mean, you just got to be committed. You got to believe in yourself.
Well, there are still lots of places I'd like you to see in this state. There are still lots of people I'd like you to meet. I'm Colin Sedor. This is Georgia Stories. Thanks.
This video raises questions, and I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. And just so you know, I have 4 questions. Number 1, do you have the desire to be an inventor? Number 2, what's the biggest invention that came from the state you're born in? Number 3, who would you like for me to do a video on next? And number 4, what are your thoughts about this video? Please share them in the comments. Now please be honest in the comments when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.